There's also 2 holes there left, no, there's 4 holes.
So in terms of faucets, we're looking at, or spouts where water is coming out, we're looking at 2 over there, 1 where the frog is, 3 here, and then 2 on this guy also, as far as we can tell. So the plumbing pretty much just has to be where those 3 main arteries are, plus this center area, which actually will probably not be that hard considering it's all jointed together. So this is a lead line, and it looks like there's 1, 2, and then a third one right here that dispersed water. And then we were just able to find a drain, which is why this tile is likely up. So we're guessing the system drained into that hole right there. But they didn't even, this as of here is just dirt, so they didn't even lay anything under it. So to recreate this part that's missing, I would actually just take a 3D render of the one that's over here. Because it's not missing as much as it seems like it is, and then have a CNC cut out the stone that's necessary. But for the majority of the rest of this, mortar should actually fix most of the problems. So all of the copper needs to be rerun through everything, but it's actually kind of helpful right now as we're looking at this for us to see that the bottom of the part that's over here is open. So everything must have, you know, I'm guessing the other half of this, like, because this is plumbing, the other half of this must have cracks in it so that was able to be set. So it's really just going to be day by day figuring out how to replumb as every individual piece gets moved. Hey, so we're over here at the fountain and we're looking at it and just doing a quick visual assessment on the majority of it. You can see that this was the old mortar that they used, and it's obviously not holding up really great. You can see different, like, all of the cracks. That one over there is pretty bad. So I think one of the most important things for this is going to be the mortar that is done correctly, and then additionally, obviously, the replumbing. I think it's in our best interest to probably replace these because you can see that there's copper ties in here. So I think that all 3 of them should probably get replaced because they're all kind of chewed up and eaten, but they're all cracked. But that's a up to the budget situation, I think. Okay, so down there is all of the old plumbing. Those are old lines, and those are all old lead lines. So basically that's what has to come out, but that's currently what was supposed to be powering it before the winterization didn't happen. Oh. Okay. So you can see the mortar's not even holding up right here either. So I think that the mortar choice is going to really, truly actually be the most important thing going on here. I mean, it seems to still be holding water in this, clearly, but I think we might have to prepare to fix some of the bottom of that. This is the old, where the old plumbing was. We're going to try and see if I have a flashlight.
To be a drain at the original location, or it is now?
Okay, so the plumbing on this guy is where the head is one of them, and then there's one on that guy and one on that guy, and then there's a Y at the top, and the intention with the Y at the top is so that it shoots outward and then around the fountain. Those 2 holes seem to be pins to help pin in the rest of the side of this.
It looks like it's on. There's a light on it now.
This one, they did it here again.
They tried to make a staple for
yeah.
stitching.
Oh, and the stitching failed also.
And it failed.
So
They did it on multiple pieces.
it looks like they tried to stitch pretty much all of them, and they all have failed, it looks like. It's not a bad idea, but if it was done with the right material that would hold it, then that would have worked. But basically this whole thing they tried to do that with. So this is mortar, this is mortar, this is mortar. So it is able to kind of repair it, but we need to be using the right material because, as you can see here, like, this really does impact how it sits and how it lays and all that. That corner is another good example of things that, like, we probably aren't going to be able to fix reasonably. Like, that I think is fine. but we just kind of have to pick and choose what's most important and visually most important. I mean, having a not 90-degree corner is fine, but, you know, we just have to strategize. A good point is that we might need to make a no skateboarding situation next to this, or maybe cut this closer so that kids don't ride their skateboards down this or something like that. And then, like, obviously it was just kind of wrap around the whole thing, but I don't know if that's something we want to keep or maybe notch into it or something like that. So for the piece that's missing, it's that guy right there. Oh, those actually have plumbing in them also. So there should be, okay, 2 of those are missing. One of the insides is missing, I believe. Yes. So those both have plumbing in it. And then we need that one inner thing. We should be able to CAD and 3D scan these so that they can be recreated and just CNC cut instead of having someone cut them out by hand. But it's the 2 dragons and then the piece in the middle there. And we should have all of the measurements because it should line up perfectly with that, hopefully. So
because it recycles it.
So I'm guessing these stairs will just be picked up and moved in a similar fashion. Yeah, these stairs are in pretty good shape, but it's a mortar thing again. So this is completely missing on the other side, so this might be something else that we want to have 3D printed and or CNC'd out. And you can see it's not like a huge piece, it just needs to be cut out. But I think that we should be able to have someone radar or like scan it properly and then do that. It looks like a drinking fountain. So this is that other drinking fountain that's missing. I think, yeah, it's definitely chunked off. So pretty much this top part to down to here would just need to be recut. But because we have that other one on the other side, it shouldn't be a terribly challenging situation. That one is missing, like the little drips on the other side. I don't know if that's something we actually want to fix or not, but that might be a mortar situation because it's not going to be touching water. So we might be able to mortar that one. These exterior ones I'm less concerned about because that won't have anything to do with maintaining and holding water. Okay, so this is the drain for that fountain that we saw on the other side, with the things and the frog. So that drains into this pool, and this pool is supposed to drain into the front pools, the front 2, and then that front pool is supposed to pump and kick up the water to go into this so that it's recycling itself. Yeah, the mortar has just obviously failed here. The mortar over here is different than the mortar that's over here, which is kind of interesting, but I mean, hey, as long as the building is still standing, we're not super worried about that. You can see where the break is in the gutter right there, and I do think that might be a good candidate for a downspout spot, and then also right here. But the question is where they're running to. So, because you see all of the water collecting on top of this is basically coming right there and then to the downspout.
Lauren's confused why they tore up the concrete here and put asphalt. Lighting Commission has 2 boxes successfully right here. And grading over here is in need of work.
Battery 13% charge soon.
We're not exactly sure what's going on with that. That kind of looks like a gas cover. And then this is electrical, but I'm also not sure what the heck is going on with that. So that probably needs to be removed because I don't really know what's going on. So the plumbing that's run through this, it's got those 3 creatures on the front of it, the Y at the top, then it goes out into all of the 3 dragons. Obviously we've got 2 missing on this side, and then the 3 parts in the middle of it are also plumbing. The drain that's on this one currently that's working is right here, and that was supposed to drain back into that to go to the other side where there's a drain that I explained. Oh yeah, this leads to the pump, and the pump, which we don't know where that is, pumps it up into those things, and then that pumps it into the back well that you saw that's full of water right now. So there's some mortar issues on this building, and this is going to be separate mortar from the mortar that we use on the fountain, but up there needs to be fixed, steam cleaned. We have one light, a hose, this is a water spigot that needs to be replaced. These are window wells into the basement, and you can see that one's broken. These need to be properly insulated so that we don't have, and possibly the windows maybe even removed, so that the basement doesn't freeze. I don't know if this building is heated or not during the winter time, and we don't want there to be any possibility of winterization issues, because that's what broke it the last time. Yeah. So that piece has fallen off completely from the side there. That's going to have to get put back up. But you can see we've got the green staining going on here, so this might be a good candidate for another gutter. Whoever did this roofing previously, it doesn't look like they put the actual correct underlayment under it, so you can see there's some variation going on in the roofing. I don't think that that's absolutely catastrophic, but that top ridge up there, you can see that clip is missing at the top there, so someone does need to get up there and kind of lay it all down. And then this right here is most likely a problem, and you can see because the green is splashing down on it. That might be a good candidate to have something that's like a little bit wider of a basin, because it's forcing all of the water on top of that peak to come down there. And so that might just help solve the problem. But the pitch of the gutters is also really important. So in regards to the gutters, they honestly just all need to be checked at every single seam, but these do not look like they're in that bad of shape. It's like you can see right there, though, the seam is broken. So the seams need to be fixed. And then these are actually really old, expensive downspouts that work great, but we need to have the city decide if they're going to make us throw concrete down that or if we're going to have a different way to drain it. The city has mostly had us, or at this point, like there was a period of time where all of them had concrete in them, so I'm kind of surprised to see one that doesn't. We're not exactly sure what this one is. It might be a sewer clean out. We only see sticks in it. Other exterior projects for this, I would put in a nicer, more historic light up there. There was a doorbell there that should probably be removed, and each of these window panes need to come out and be put back in, and probably a storm window put on all of those. These just need to be sandblasted and cleaned up. I would keep an eye on the drip edge on top of this building. We really want to see what's going on with the flat roof part of this, but the gutters just don't look like they've been taken care of properly, and so someone needs to go up on a boom and like inspect each one individually with some silver solder. So we're not really sure what's going on here, but they're draining the parking lot into right there, which is weird because that helps push water that way if that's backed up. So I think we need to assess that situation, but I know this parking lot is getting blown up, so I don't really know.
Down here is the sewer main access for sewage poopies. So it ends up about halfway through this first turn lane, only 15 feet from the building.
Okay, so we're guessing that the fountain is going somewhere near that green patch of grass over by the tree, and this corner of the building is where there's going to be a bore coming out of it. So I would, if like this was me, I would shoot water and electrical out here on an angle to where exactly the fountain is going to be. They're going to come through and it's going to basically go straight under the cement. I don't know what's happening to the cement, but that's the situation. They're going to need to run an outline with water pumping out and an inline with water pumping in so that there can be a pump station actually inside of it. So more window situations. This gutter has to come out and it has to be fixed, and this is better grading, but this has to come out and go over into the rain gardens, so that's definitely a problem. But I think we might need some more downspouts because I think that there are not enough for this current setup. This is another spigot that's got to get replaced, and that's likely to the sewer line. This is the Public Lighting Commission is right there, and that's the sewer over there. So